Nestlé's formula marketing may have cost 1 million infant lives annually. A 1974 pamphlet called The Baby Killer exposed the entire operation. By 1977, a global boycott of Nestlé products had formally begun. The 1981 2HO marketing code finally codified what companies could not do. Now, the receipts in order. After World War II, formula companies expanded aggressively into developing nations. Nestlé, Wyeth, and Abbott held dominant market share in these regions. Formula was marketed as modern, scientific, and superior to breast milk. Companies dressed sales reps as nurses to enter hospitals and clinics. Free samples were given to new mothers during the hospital stay itself. Once breast milk dried up, mothers were locked into purchasing formula permanently. In poor communities, families diluted formula to stretch limited supplies further. Contaminated water used to mix formula introduced deadly pathogens to infants. Malnutrition and diarrheal disease spiked wherever formula marketing expanded. Researchers first documented the link between formula marketing and infant deaths. In 1974, the British charity War on Want published The Baby Killer. The pamphlet detailed how formula marketing was undermining infant health worldwide. A Swiss group translated it as Nestlé Kills Babies, directly naming the company. Nestlé sued the Swiss activists for criminal libel in 1974. The 1976 Swiss judge ruled against Nestlé and condemned its marketing practices. The judge told Nestlé to fundamentally reform its marketing methods. Nestlé did not meaningfully reform its practices after the ruling. By 1977, advocacy groups in the United States launched a formal Nestlé boycott. In fact, Infant Formula Action Coalition coordinated the boycott internationally. The boycott targeted all Nestlé consumer products, not just infant formula. Churches, universities, and trade unions formally endorsed the boycott globally. Nestlé hired public relations firms and lobbied governments to counter the boycott. Nestlé publicly called its critics uninformed, irresponsible, and anti-capitalist. The 1978 United States Senate hearings put formula marketing under direct scrutiny. Senator Edward Kennedy chaired the subcommittee hearings on infant formula marketing. Industry representatives testified that formula was safe when used as directed. Critics testified that as directed was impossible in communities without clean water. The World Health Organization began drafting an international marketing code in 1979. Industry groups lobbied intensively to water down the draft code's provisions. In May 1981, the WHO adopted the International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes. The vote was 118 countries in favor, 3 abstentions, and 1 vote against. The sole vote against the code was cast by the United States. The Reagan administration opposed the code as a barrier to free trade. The code banned advertising formula directly to the public and healthcare systems. It also banned free samples to mothers and the disguised nurse sales tactic. The boycott organizers suspended the Nestlé boycott in 1984 after apparent concessions. By 1988, violations were documented and the boycott was formally reinstated. UNICEF estimated in the 1990s that formula misuse cost 1.5 million infant lives annually. Independent monitoring groups documented ongoing code violations into the 2000s. In 2013, an investigation found Nestlé violating the code in multiple countries. The International Baby Food Action Network has documented violations for 4 decades. As of 2023, only a minority of countries have fully enacted the WHO code into law. The Nestlé boycott remains active today, one of the longest consumer boycotts in history. The case established the template for regulating multinational health product marketing globally. The documented record stands: aggressive marketing, known harm, and decades of delay. If this case is in the documented record, there are more. Subscribe to Pint-Sized Scandals so you don't miss the next one.